Hello students, I welcome you all to the online video lecture on course Heat Transfer. Today we'll deal with the module number 5, chapter 2, that is boiling and condensation. So this is a lecture number 3 on boiling and condensation. In the previous two lectures, we have seen the definition of boiling, the different forms of boiling, and the boiling curve or different regimes of pool boiling. We have also solved the two numericals on boiling. In the today's class, we'll solve one more numerical which is previously asked in a VTU examination. Okay, so let's read the problem carefully. So this has been asked in the year VTU January 2015 for 10 marks. A metal clad heating element of 10 mm diameter and of emissivity 0.92 is submerged in a water bath horizontally. If the surface temperature of metal is 260 degrees centigrades under steady boiling condition, calculate the power dissipated per unit length for the heater. Assume that water is exposed to atmospheric pressure and is at uniform temperature. Okay, now clearly has mentioned it is a metal clad of diameter 10 mm. The diameter of heating element is D, capital D equals to 10 mm or 0.01 meters. The emissivity he has given. The emissivity is represented by epsilon, which is equals to 0.92. The surface temperature of metal is Ts equals to 260 degrees centigrades. As the water is at atmospheric condition, the atmospheric pressure, then obviously the saturation temperature of water is equals to 100 degrees centigrades. It will not be given in exams. It will not be given in the question, but by default, it is. It should be noted that whenever he gives the atmospheric pressure, you are supposed to consider the saturation temperature as 100 degrees centigrades. Okay. Now this is a different problem from the previously solved two problems. How? The surface temperature is 260 degrees centigrades, and the saturation temperature is 100 degrees centigrades. Now, if you take the difference between these two, the excess temperature delta TE. So basically delta T is a difference between the surface temperature and the saturation temperature. The surface temperature and the saturation temperature. So that is equals to surface temperature is 260 and the saturation temperature is 100. So you'll get 160 degrees centigrades as the excess temperature. In boiling curve, we have seen up to 5 degrees centigrades. When delta T, the excess temperature is up to 5 degrees centigrades, if it is approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrades, then it is of interface evaporation, or it is also known as the free convection zone. If the delta T is ranging between 5 degrees centigrades to 50 degrees centigrades, I repeat, if the excess temperature delta TE is in range between 5 degrees centigrades to 50 degrees centigrades, then it is of nucleate boiling. If the excess temperature is more than 50 degrees centigrades, then the radiation comes into picture. So that is considered as film boiling. Okay. So this is the third regime because the excess temperature is more than 50 degrees centigrades. So here we have to consider the radiation as well, because this is the film boiling regime. That is the third regime. So that's why he has given the emissivity. The emissivity comes into the radiation. That is epsilon equals to 0.92. Is that clear, all of you? So this is a different problem from the previously solved two problems. Okay. So this will be more clear if you solve it systematically. I hope up till here this is clear. Why we have to consider the radiation into account. Okay. Now, to be assumed, water is exposed to the atmospheric pressure or ambient pressure, that is T sat equals to 100 degrees centigrades. Now, let us refer the data handbook. For the film boiling, what is the equation from the data handbook? What is the equation from the data handbook? So let us refer page number 142. The page number 142. So boiling, for boiling, we have to refer page number 142. He has given the two descriptions. In the first description, nucleate pool boiling. So this equation holds good for when the excess temperature is between 5 to 50 degrees centigrades. If the excess temperature is more than 150 degrees centigrades, then the film boiling or the radiation comes into picture. So we supposed to use these equation, that is Hc equals to this complete equation, and HR, the heat transfer coefficient for radiation, and this is the heat transfer coefficient for convection. So these two formulas we have to use. After that, we have to use this formula H equals to Hc plus 0.75 times HR. Okay, so for this formula, he has given the notations. Okay, so you can see Kv, rho V, rho L, rho V, HFG, CPV, delta T, mu V, D and delta T. See students, the suffix V stands for the vapor state. So if you consider Kv, this Kv represents the thermal conductivity of vapor. Thermal conductivity of vapor. Rho V stands for density of vapor. Density of vapor. Rho L stands for density of liquid. Density of liquid. Similarly, HFG is the latent heat of evaporation. CPV is specific heat of vapor. Specific heat of vapor. So delta TE is excess temperature, or it is a difference between the surface temperature and the saturation temperature. Now mu V, mu stands for the absolute viscosity of vapor. D is the diameter and delta T is the temperature difference. Same. Now here HR is the heat transfer coefficient for radiation. Sigma R, epsilon is given. TW, so TW he has given. No need to worry. TW is nothing but surface temperature only. So we have taken TS, he has given TW. No problem. The surface temperature only. Raised to 4, and here Tsat raised to 4. So whenever he gives in this formula, in this particular formula, the temperature should be in kelvins because we have to the power 4. So T should be in terms of kelvins. So TS or TW is 260 given. The surface temperature is 260 given. 260 plus 273 while using this formula. Because the temperature is raised to 4. We have raised to 4. Okay, after that, calculate the overall value of H and calculate the value of Q. Okay, so let's proceed to the solution in detail. So we have been discussing about Kv, rho V. So these are the thermophysical properties of vapor. Thermophysical property of vapor. Now the question arises, at what temperature we have to consider these values, the thermophysical properties of these values. Please concentrate here carefully. He has given the surface temperature as 260 degrees centigrades. 260 degrees centigrades. And the saturation temperature is equals to 100 degrees centigrades. 100 degree centigrades. Listen here carefully. The value of thermophysical properties of vapor, that is Kv, rho V, CPV and mu V, this should be taken at mean temperature. This should be taken at mean or average temperature between the surface temperature and saturation temperature. So the total sum is 360, 260 plus 100, 360, 360 by 2, that is 180 degrees centigrades. That is 180 degrees centigrades. At this particular mean temperature or average temperature, we are supposed to take the values of thermophysical properties of vapor, that is Kv, rho V, CPV and mu V. As far as rho L, the density of liquid, and HFG is concerned, you are supposed to take the values at 100 degrees centigrades. 100 degree centigrades. I repeat, as far as density of liquid, and HFG, the enthalpy of evaporation, is considered, you are supposed to take these two thermophysical properties at 100 degrees centigrade, what we have seen in the previous two problems. But as far as rho v, kV are concerned, the radiation comes into picture. So that's why we have to take these properties at average temperature, that is 180 degrees centigrade. I hope this is clear. Okay, now let's go to the main sheet. Let's go to the main sheet now. Okay, so the thermophysical properties of water at 100 degrees centigrade from the heat and mass transfer data handbook, that is page number 21. So as far as thermophysical properties are considered, so we supposed to take these values, the density of liquid at 100 degrees centigrade, that is 961 kg per meter cube. So rho L from the page number 21. It is given in the page number 21 of the data handbook. Page number 21 of the data handbook. Page number 21. Okay, now for water at 100 degrees centigrade, the density equals to 961 kg per meter cube. So this is for liquid. This is for liquid. But in equation we have mu v, rho v, CPV, etc. So those properties should be taken at the mean temperature, that is 180 degrees centigrade. So they are the properties of steam. These are the properties of liquid. These are the properties of liquid. Okay. Let's go to the main sheet now. Okay. Now from page number 144, you have to consider the latent heat of evaporation at 100 degrees centigrade only, which is given on page number 144. That is 2256.9 kilojoules per kg, or just multiply with the 1000, you will get 2256.9 into 10 power 3 joules per kg. Now this is a very important step. Thermophysical properties of vapor at mean temperature of 180 degrees centigrade, which is on page number 39. So these properties should be taken for the steam at 180 degrees centigrade, which is given in page number 39. So rho v, as I said, rho v, mu v, CPV and kV, these properties should be considered at mean temperature, that is 180 degrees centigrade. So let's go with the data handbook, page number 39. The page number 39, it is given in the page number 39. So the page number 39 is here. So page number 39. Okay, this is 32. Page number 37. Okay, this is page number 39. So for page number 39, properties values of saturated steam, property values of saturated steam, that is 1 bar. So the temperature, the mean temperature is 180 degrees centigrade. So for which the pressure is 10.5, pressure is not required, but the density is required. Density equals to 5.16. Density equals to 5.16, and the absolute viscosity mu v is 15.10 into 10 power minus 6, and the PR is 1.25. Actually, PR is not required, and CP is 2709 joules per kg kelvins, and kV is equals to thermal conductivity of vapor 0.03268 watt per meter kelvins. Okay, so these are the corresponding values of vapor at mean temperature. So I hope this is clear. Now let's go to the page number same 144. There we can see the boiling equations. Okay, so fine. So after that, just copy this equation, these two equations, and do the substitution. Now, as per the boiling curve, delta T, here I have clearly mentioned the delta T equals to 160. There exists a film boiling condition. In this condition, heat transfer due to both convection and radiation. So from heat and mass transfer data handbook, refer page number 142. Just write down all the equations. So that is H overall, H convection plus 3/4 of H radiation. So we have the two different equations for convection and radiation. So for convection, this is the equation, corresponding equation. There is nothing, just write down the formula, extract the values, thermophysical properties, and do the substitution. Here the important thing is that how perfect you are in calculation. I'm repeating again and again, don't feed the entire data at a time. Do the calculation by parts. Okay, fine. Now H convection equals to 398.03 watt per meter square kelvins. So I hope this is clear. Fine. I have copied all the values. These are the various values, and substitute in this equation and get the value of heat transfer coefficient for convection. So here delta T is a temperature difference, Ts minus Tsat. Here also Ts minus Tsat. Diameter, everything is given. I hope there is no doubt here. So G is acceleration due to gravity, 9.81. Okay. So 398.03 watt per meter square Kelvin is the answer for heat transfer coefficient for convection. Similarly, for radiation, because here we have the two different heat transfer coefficients. One is for convection and one is for radiation. Both have the two different equations. So it is given in the data handbook. So H for radiation equals to 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8. So this is a Stephen Boltzmann's constant. Okay, the sigma value, the value for sigma is a Stephen Boltzmann's constant, which is in terms of watt per meter square Kelvin to the power 4. Watt per meter square Kelvin to the power 4. Now here, as I said, the T should be in terms of kelvins. T should be in terms of Kelvin, because we have T to the power 4 here. Here we have T to the power 4. So do take the temperature in kelvins. So plus 273 here, 260 plus 273, and here 100 plus 273 raised to 4. And here Tsat, Ts minus Tsat, that is 160 degrees centigrades. So after calculation, you will get H radiation equals to 20 watt per meter square kelvins. So use these two in equation number 1. Use these two in equation number 1. You will get the value of overall value of H. Now the power dissipation per unit length, we know the Newton's law of cooling. So Q equals to HA into Ts minus Tsat. H is already calculated, 413.03 watt per meter square kelvins. A is the surface area of the cylinder, because here wire is considered. Wire is considered. Okay. The wire is considered. The heater is of shape wire. The heater is of shape wire. This is a wire. So the surface area of this cylindrical wire is pi dl. Pi dl is the surface area of this cylindrical member. Okay, solid cylindrical member. So pi dl. But he asked us to calculate what is the power dissipated per unit length. Per unit length. So L should be taken as 1. L should be taken as 1. So pi diameter is given. Diameter of the wire is given. So after substitution, you will get the value of power dissipated, or you can say rate of heat transfer per unit length. Rate of heat transfer per unit length. Rate of heat transfer per unit length is equals to 2076 watt per meters. Watt per meter. So this is a power dissipation per unit length. I hope this problem is clear. So if you find anywhere any difficulty, you can put your queries in the comment box, or you can contact me personally on the WhatsApp. So this is the end of the lecture number 4, that is numerical on boiling. So here you can find the question, same question. The same question, he has not even changed the data. It has been asked in the year 2015 in VTU examination. So a metal clad heating element of 10 mm diameter and emissivity of 0.92 submerged, the same is given. So here also we need to calculate the power dissipated per unit length of the heater. Okay. So I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So please don't forget to like the channel, share this channel, and subscribe the channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that whenever I put the new video on YouTube, you will get the notification instantly. So stay safe, stay at home. Thank you and have a nice day.